All right, it says I'm live. Okay, good. Let me get the other ones up and running. So hang on just a second. There's the Patreon. Y'all are definitely going to want to get engaged in that. Hi. If you're here on Patreon, welcome. Let's get the TikTok rolling. Greetings. Up and running. Let's check it. All right, we are in chapter 7, page 70. Values are those emotional, moral, and spiritual things that are important to us. They give us direction, they're that compass that moves us along in life. I'm pretty sure I'm going to repeat this piece many times because it is so important. The goal of this process is to create a life living, everybody. In order to do that, we really need to look at what is important to us. Why do we need to do that? Well, because when push comes to shove in our lives, we're going to always default to what is most important to us, what we value the most. This is going to be the drive in our behavior. It always has been and it always will be. To what we value is actually very short sighted. What I mean by that is, again, referring to that, right? And we're always looking for an easier, softer way, some instant gratification. Yeah. And the like. This is not our fault or even necessary, Matt. Oh, no. A bad thing. It's that part of our actually harder coming down the pike. It makes sense to follow the easier path. That in itself is because we're trying to shortcut. We want to put that much effort into it. It's uncomfortable and it's scary. So we start to change this as part of the going through these previous practices. We visited who we are. We understand some of what drives us, and we've learned how to stop and step back and evaluate what's going on around us. It's at this point that we can practice some awareness. We can really take a look at what actually is important to us and maybe get into some of that human brain stuff, looking at the big picture, taking into account how actions in the moment might potentially affect what's happening and what's going to happen in the future as a result. Bam! So, values, right? What is important to us? That's going to drive the behavior. We're going to talk more about it. Okay, I got lots going on. So I am going to be shutting down Windows in just a second. But again, there will be some follow up content on this here shortly. I got to get my shit together. But if you go to patreon.com/Keith MF Walker, I'll get it all locked in. I got a lot of addresses bouncing in my head. But go to the Patreon site, get a free membership, come hang out, look at some of the other stuff. But there will be things with the Patreon, again, that paying members, whatever, small subscription fees. There will be gadgets and gizmos coming down the pike, freebies, extra content, etc. But for just checking it out and just becoming a free member, there will be some extra content this morning. So, that being said, let me bounce out of some streams and we'll deuces. We'll talk to you soon.